So this is how it works. With any harmony, there are questions, one or two, that you have to ask to determine the right chord scale. Let's take the easiest example. Let's say it's just a major chord. It's a major harmony. Let's say it's C major 7. Remember the scales we talked about last week? Among the 10 most common scales, there were 2 major scales involved. There was the Ionian and the Lydian. The difference is in the 4th degree. The Ionian has a natural 4, the Lydian has a raised 4. So if you come to a major C major 7 chord in a piece of music, you have to answer the question, is it a natural 4 or a raised 4? Or in other words, is it an F natural or an F sharp? And then you'll know which of the 2 scales is the right one for that measure. And here's how you find the answer. First, you look at what you see in front of you. Look at the written music. Half the time, the note in question will be right there in the written melody of the song. So if you see an F sharp, then you know it's Lydian. If you see an F natural, you know it's Ionian. If you don't have written melody in front of you, sometimes like you may be playing a big band chart and all you have are chord symbols, or if the note in question, that F or F sharp, doesn't appear in the written melody, then we find the answer to the question by looking at the preceding chord scale, the harmony before the one we're looking at. And you will find the note there. You will find that F natural or F sharp in the preceding chord. So using the most common example of going G7 to C, we see that there's an F natural in the G7 chord, and that's going to influence the C major chord to be Ionian. Whatever is ringing in the harmony wants to continue ringing into the next harmony if it can. If something forces it to change because the chord symbol requires it, that's another story. But if nothing forces it to change, then any note that's ringing wants to continue on into the next harmony, and it's going to influence it. So that's how we answer that question. So there's 2 ways to answer the question. It's either visible in the written notes that you see in front of you, or you look at the preceding chord scale and use that as an indicator.